It's Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Welcome to All Lacrosse Live. I'm Gary Groob in Toronto. And with me, as always, I have Shawn Slaght over in Moose Jaw. Shawn, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Thanks, Gary.
Excellent. You've recovered well, it looks.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm good.
Parts is correct. And, of course, down in Connecticut, I've got Muffler Mike. Mike, how are you?
I'm good.
Guys, we've had a good week, eh? Everything is in full swing now in the summer. We've got PLL going on now. We have full swing of MSL and WLA. The schedules look ridiculous, like always. Peterborough's just finishing up their third game in 4 days. Yeah, way to go. All summer long you have, and perfect. Let's put their whole schedule in 2 weeks. They don't have to play again until playoffs. Gotta love it. We've got OSL. We've got stuff from out west. We've got WLA as well, and a whole bunch of other stuff, as well as we'll talk about the NCAA championship. Pat will be along with us to talk a little bit about PLL and the NCAA. And we'll get rolling just as soon as we get a few things out of the way. Remember, all the episodes are streamed live across Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and also Twitch. Remember to hit the subscribe, follow, and like buttons. Always share. Please enjoy our affiliates across the Streampunk Network. There's Streampunk Cinema, Streampunk Combat, CFL shows there starting up in the next week or two, and also a whole lot of other things to do that are not sports related. So please have a look at anything to do with Streampunk sports or anything else. Remember, you can stay up to date with all sports by visiting streampunkentertainment.com with great articles from our huge staff of contributors. Also, a reminder that our show is brought to you by 60. 60 is Canada's newest and most exciting sports uniform and teamwear brand, delivering top quality uniforms and teamwear that reflects the spirit and identity of each team. Their commitment to innovation and excellence sets them apart, ensuring that every customer experiences the perfect blend of style and functionality. Unleash your greatness with 60. And how to get a hold of them, first off, is on the QR code that is on screen. Also, you can go on to Instagram at sweet_60. You can message Jim there. You can send Jim an email at info.sweet60@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website at www.sweet60.ca/60. Now, we have a couple of interesting things because when I was in Peterborough the other day, I got to sit down with Jim. And we got to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And I looked at all kinds of different jerseys from different sports and different things. And I'm telling you, the quality of this stuff is impeccable. If you're playing, you're not going to want anything else. It's durable and it is breathable as well as stretchable. So all kinds of things. Now, with us, we have discussed a whole new sort of merch program. And we will have different styles and prices upcoming. But just to give you a little idea of some of the mock-ups that we've been talking about, all kinds of different ideas coming your way at good prices and Canadian funds. Let's save ourselves a couple of bucks here and there. Because I don't know about you, Shawn, but the U.S. dollar is killing me.
Oh, God, between that and the shipping.
The international shipping is just criminal. Mike's laughing because he kind of gets it for
nothing. Maybe.
It's still going to be cheaper to get it from us in Canada sent to you because your dollar is so strong. So strong. Anyways, Eduardo's with us. Hello, Eduardo.
Hey, Eduardo.
But yeah. While we were there, though, also Jim had a chance to sit down with us and talk with Johnny Davis for a bit. That was an interesting conversation because Jim was a former CFLer who played for BC, Saskatchewan, Edmonton, and Toronto in his career. So to talk with one of the greatest lacrosse players of all time, it was interesting seeing the two of them get together. Later on in that evening, one of the Brampton players, Bowie Horseman, who, by the way, was also on the Cornell championship team, his dad was up in the alumni box with us, and Dave had a chat with Johnny. Now, here's the interesting story on
Rogers strikes early
Rogers
tonight.
Not even, not gonna allow us to get the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Early and often. That's what we do here, you know. Rogers, we love you. You know, they have to pay for that damn renovation at Skydome. Not Rogers Center, Skydome. That should put me off the air for the entire night now.
Well, you keep calling Skydome. That's why they're doing it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I can call it the condom if you'd like. Anyways, that's the big white top, you know, never mind. Anyways, when Johnny was playing with the Montreal Quebecois, Dave was a season ticket holder there. So they knew each other from back then. So it was just interesting to see it come full circle. And Dave does some work with the younger Excelsiors. And of course, his son is playing on the MSL Excelsiors Boy Horseman. Another interesting thing that I saw that I kind of just, you know, happened to just, you know, dawned on me was when Nick Rose was underneath us getting ready to start the game. I happened to snap this little shot. The helmet that he is using, now he just came from Calgary, correct? And he did have a Calgary Roughnecks logo on the thing, correct?
Yep.
That doesn't say Lakers, does it?
No, it does not.
Nope.
So for anybody who's thinking that, oh no, the Rock can go and get another, he's coming back. Rosie's coming back.
Calgary's got Aiden Walsh now, so they don't really.
Well, they didn't have him anyways because he's an unrestricted free agent. So,
Yeah.
So nobody expected him to stick around there anyways. That was just a rent-a-cop. And thank you for your pick, Calgary. We're going to enjoy it in 2026. First rounder at that. Hey, a little bit of news. On July the 19th, set that date in your books, over at the Memorial Arena in Brampton. Join the Brampton Excelsiors and the Six Nation Chiefs in raising money for the Ontario Native Women's Association. Excellent cause. 4 times more likely to be victims of violence in Canada than non-Indigenous women. So let's head on over to that game and raise money for that great charity. A little bit more news. Jeff Teat, with his 1 goal the other day, became a New York Atlas career goals leader with 91, I believe it is. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All highlight reel goals at that. Now we talked a little bit about the Cornell and Maryland game. Of course, Cornell won this game 13-10. Yours truly had this pick. Anybody else? Anybody? Mike is just batting a million when it comes to fielding.
Yeah, apparently.
Now, here is the great one, because in September, we're going to see why I'm so elated at this one. CJ Kurst was the most outstanding player, of course. He'll be the first round pick overall.
Oh, yeah.
Who's got that pick? Oh, yes, that's right. Captain's hat's right behind me.
Yeah. Yep.
Popeye's going to be there, you know. Here we go. But not only that, CJ Kurst also ties the NCAA Division I men's lacrosse single season goals record of 82. Yipper. Can you see Schreiber to Kurst to Dawick, back to Kurst to goal? Can you see that? Can you see Bushi passing it on out and there's Kurst with a shot? I can see that. I can see that more and more. You know, it's clear. It's clear. Great vision. By the way, I've pulled out the Atlas horns. You know, I was hoping Caden would be around, but Caden can't be with us this week. He will return next week, so we'll get him about that one too. But yeah, while we're on that little subject, though, you know, that game was pretty wild. Hey, Mike, the NCAA game, first time since '77, Cornell has won the.
Yeah, huge accomplishment for them, and this was a replay or rematch of the 2022 final, I believe. So, which was won by Maryland, who had their own had their own struggles over the years, reaching quite a number of finals and not being able to win the big one. So, so they were able to win back in 22 over Cornell. But there were a few holdovers from Cornell who did who were in that 2022 game who got a measure of revenge, like Hugh Kelleher, for instance. So,
Right. That's impressive, and that was just a great day all around. I loved even the message about from the refs to both teams, talking about Memorial Day and everything like that, and right from the word go, just a very, very classy event.
Yeah.
And great crowd.
Yeah.
Wow. Great crowd. But congratulations to Cornell on their championship. And now we move ourselves on over to the professional Premier Lacrosse League. And, first week of PLL Pick'ems, guys. Not terrible, not great, not terrible, not great. I really thought Atlas could pull both of them out. I would be wrong. But only Caden went 1-3. Everybody else went 2-2. So as the season goes along, I am sure that we will start dividing up.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we only range into a pack near the end. then we all stay. But introducing a new little thing for PLL is my PLL goal of the week. And this one happens to come from Atlas. And, this one's stunning. So have a quick look at this one.
Your rights, but not if you have that in the bag.
And credit Trainer for staying with this because it was actually dislodged. So he didn't catch and finish.
No, he lost the ball, picked it back up, and then fired behind the back, not looking, and made it into the corner. That's fairly impressive if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Fairly impressive, I would say. Now, the other thing that was impressive was the turnout in Buffalo for their little to-do. That little thing of the three-peat. The three-peat.
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, we've now seen it, Shawn. We're just making it up.
Erase it from the memory.
Well, I thought they're all playing for Calgary the way they came in. Of course, Chase Fraser is holding it with one hand. Probably in the back.
So yeah.
He passed it behind the back to somebody else to hold the cup after that. You can't even hold the cup without being a highlight reel,
Yeah.
I'll give him all due credit, though. He had a really great interview on the Pat McAfee show this week, too, talking a lot about Indigenous and the creation and the creator's game and all that, and telling him to start looking at the Google Lyle Thompson and some of the things they've done there and all the other things that are about that and the Olympics. And it was a pretty good interview, all in all. And pumping up the parade the next day. So, not bad.
Yeah.
But, we had a few games there, Mike. PLL.
just a few. Yeah.
Well, I figure, when in Rome. The first game of the week was Atlas beating the Carolina Chaos. And, you look at that. I mentioned PLL, and just like that, Pat appears. Hi, Pat.
Oh, showing up.
Arf, 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 arf. It's time. It's time. The dogs are barking. The dogs are barking in Philly. I'm ready, but unfortunately, I'm on the bye week, but arf, it's time. I'm ready for some PLL lacrosse. Let's go.
Well, I told them for the first time in a year and a bit, you know, you guys aren't in last place.
Undefeated.
Undefeated so far through week
Yeah.
one.
You
You
know,
guys are looking
it's
better than most of the games last year.
Yeah, yeah, I'll take the W in a sense, but I watched last year's championship rematch game between the Archers and Maryland again. Again, that game came down to the wire. Philly's got a lot. Again, next week opening game for the Water Dogs, and the Water Dogs have a tall task that stands in front of them. I mean, you're going to deal with that TJ Malone. That kid can score. He can score from outside, inside. How do you want it? He can deliver. The only thing that stopped Maryland this weekend is that guy Connor Fields. Yeah, Connor Fields doing Connor Field things. Outside of that, yeah, Philly's going to have a lot on their hands. Matt Brudu, if I'm saying his name, I hope I didn't butcher it. Brownell. You have Cornell, the rookie you're going to have to deal with. Yeah, Philly's going to have a lot on their plate.
Absolutely. We were just getting rocking here in the first game, of course, where Atlas had beat on on Carolina.
Yeah, getting out to a 4-0 lead. Carolina would eventually tie it up later in the fourth quarter, but Atlas would get a pair of goals with Brian Costabile and Matt Trainer to get the 10-8 win. Costabile finished with 3 goals. Trevor Baptiste was 17 of 22 on faceoffs and had 10 ground ball pickups. So huge game for him. See him back on the field. Liam Entenmann, 16 saves on the night for Atlas. For Chaos, well, few guys missing maybe, so maybe they're feeling feeling the pain of
they're going to be missing
not having some of those Bandits players playing right now. No Chase Fraser, no Ian McKay, and then of course Dane Smith and Josh Byrne are playing with Six Nations. So
that's a big hit.
Yeah. And no Chris Cloutier either. So they still have some firepower though. They have Josh Zawada now. Cross Ferrara. Each of them had a goal. Zawada had an assist. Remember, they also acquired Garrett Degnan from Redwoods in the offseason. He had a goal for the Chaos. Blaze Reardon, he had 12 saves, but they struggled at the dot, and they definitely struggled in the loose ball department as well. So,
Right.
definitely something they're going to have to
Address.
Yeah. I get the feeling with the departure of a lot of the Bandits players, and we don't know. I mean, maybe Cloutier and McKay and Fraser will come back later in the season, but they'll definitely be welcomed, because I have a feeling Chaos is going to have a down season this year.
Well, they've had all that hoopla in the off season, right? They've had everything change on them, and now
Let's not forget the coaching staff. Let's not forget that 3 teams have brand new coaching staffs this year, so it's definitely going to be interesting. Not just Chaos, but Redwoods has a new coaching staff, and who's the other one? Is it Atlas?
No, I believe Atlas stayed the same.
Okay, that's escaping me then.
But regardless, it's going to be an interesting year. We have a lot of the guys that were on practice squads and we were looking at in the tournament in February are on squads now. So we got a lot of youth that have been infused into these lineups. So what we were used to seeing, we're starting to see a changing of the guard. PLL has been around long enough now that we're having that happen. So we move on, and the one that really made me go was this game, and this was California against Denver, and I really thought Denver was going to give it a little more, but California beats them 15-12.
Yeah, the big one there, California comes out in second half, third quarter, and outscores the Outlaws 6-3, and they were leading 6-5 at the half. So really kind of blew the game open in the third quarter.
Right.
And again, this is another one we probably weren't expecting Redwoods to maybe have such a great season because we figured they were rebuilding. Rob Pennell signing with Whipsnakes. They trade Garrett Degnan to Chaos. But despite having Ryder Garnsey and Romar Dennis combined for all of 2 assists, they pull out a 15-12 win. They're one of their top, actually 2 of their top draft picks really stood out. Chris Kavanaugh, 4 goals and an assist. Andrew McAdory had 2 goals and 2 assists. They got a hat trick out of Dylan Malloy, 2 goals from Charlie Bertrand. TD Erlin, just phenomenal at the dot, 16 of 29 on faceoffs. He had a goal and an assist and 11 ground balls. So for Outlaws, little bit of a power outage from a few guys. Justin Anderson, Sam Hanley, both held off the score sheet entirely. Graham Bundy Jr. just 1 assist. They did get goals from Jake Pisano and Dalton Young. Pair of goals from Pat Kavanaugh, Chris's brother. Brennan O'Neill, 2 goals, 2 assists. And Logan Wisnauskas had a hat trick and an assist. So, the way I see, to me, this is big because not only is this, a young team, rebuilding team getting off on the right foot, but you're getting off on the right foot against a conference opponent.
Right.
So, and then the way it's set up is you're going to play each year in conference opponents twice, and then each year the other conference opponents once. So to me, this is big to start off with a win against a conference rival.
Absolutely. We move on, and we have the closest game we had of the weekend, and that was the Archers and the Whipsnakes, and a late goal from Tom Schreiber is what wins it for the Archers. Connor Fields. Really not more when you say that. Connor Fields with 5 points, 4 goals, and an assist in this game, just took it over. And
really did.
Yeah.
Really kind of dictated things. They got goals from Matt Bohr and Dyson Williams as well. Sam King with 3 assists, and I think I have it in my my little caption there. Archers three-peat too. We're talking about Buffalo three-peating, and we've got a few other teams this summer looking to do the same thing. I really think we need to start. I think when we start talking about goalies, top goalies in the PLL, I think Brett Dobson's name needs to start being mentioned first. All due respect to guys like Liam Entenmann and Blaze Reardon, but
yeah, oh yeah.
Well, he's the real deal.
Yeah, Dobson 15 saves on the day, and he just continues to just be rock solid for this Archers team, especially.
I thought that the face-off battle would have been closer, but Nardella had his way with Disselberger.
Yeah, 13 of 17 for Nardella. That was maybe a key. Whipsnakes could have This could easily been blowout. Which Snakes might not have been as close if he's not getting them all those possessions. They do get a hat trick out of Malone. Brandow with a pair of goals. Aiden Carroll had a goal and an assist, and Rob Pinnell, new to the coming over from Redwoods last year, had his first goal. Brendan Krebs just 6 saves on the day.
He had a rough day because it was 6 of 14. Just a horrible day in his standards.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he even had just an average day? We're talking about the Archers lose their first game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, for Maryland again, like Pat said, now now they're going to be coming off a loss, and they're going to be up against a hungry Water Dogs team looking to start the way California started if they can.
Mm-hmm.
So, those were the 2 teams that missed the playoffs last year. So,
right. We move into the next game, and that is Atlas with its second game of the day against Boston. Now, again, I played Atlas. I really thought that that they were going to, show me something and do what they did last year and walk away with the weekend. Boston had something to say on that one. They had a lot to say on that one, actually.
Yeah. 16-12, the Cannons win. So they go to 1-0. Drop Atlas to 1-1. For Cannons, big days from Ryan Drenner. He had 4 goals on the day. Will Manny had a hat trick. Marcus Holman, 2 goals and an assist. Graydon Hogg, 2 goals and an assist. Matt Campbell, a goal and 2 assists. They got 3 helpers from Asher Knowlting. So, and Colin Kirst, 16 saves in net for the Cannons.
Yeah. Entenmann didn't have that good a game this time. I don't know if he was tired from the first one, but he only sat around 48%, but he did make 14 saves.
I want to, kind of piggyback from your last game conversation, but I gotta give credit to the PLL here. Like your first opening, scheduled games, you open with the championship game from last year between Utah and Maryland. Like, what a way to kick off the opening weekend! And that game was a slugfest between both of them. And like I said earlier, look, Water Dogs. It's going to be barking in South Carolina in Charlotte, and I can't wait. But listen, tall task is that guy TJ Marlone. Yeah, the Philadelphia Water Dogs are going to have their hands full with that guy. He can make plays, creates his own shot from the outside, gets down low and does dirty things. The only thing that stopped that Maryland team was this guy named Connor Fields, and Connor Fields does Connor Field things. And gosh, if he only had a Will supporter cast with the Rochester Nighthawks, that dude's an all-around championship material guy.
Well,
yeah, I agree. So, I think, if we're looking at next week, I mean, if they can key in on Malone, figure out what Archers did to keep some of these other guys scoreless. I think they held Adam Patois to an assist. Matt Rambo was held scoreless.
Yeah.
Levi Anderson was held scoreless. So
key thing, Mike.
Yeah.
Key thing. Physical defense. That's what Utah was playing. The Archers, they play physical. They didn't shy away from hitting you. There was a couple times I've seen a couple of these guys on their back. You got to play physical defense for 4 quarters against that tough, fast-paced Maryland team.
Definitely.
Absolutely. The other big game that weekend is the Archers against Boston on Saturday. That to me now is a game that I got to see, because you're looking at Utah.
Nope, I lose Gary again.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that will be probably the game of the week there. But
Yeah, you say one thing about the Sky Dome, one thing.
yeah, no, that's definitely another huge game. Both teams really, archers are going to try to, try their best to kind of keep that momentum going and maybe have a chance to knock off Boston and kind of get some of these teams, in the hole right away so that they can kind of have that number one seed throughout the playoffs.
Right. Right. But it's all these games are going to be great. California against Carolina. That's the one game is the question mark to me, because I don't know what Carolina team is going to show up.
Yeah, and it's their homecoming, and they've got to take on Denver the day before. So, this is if you're Carolina, it just oof. It could be coming out of this. You could be coming out of this 0-3, and with 2 losses against division rivals,
Mm-hmm.
no less.
Yeah, because I was even looking at that Outlaws Chaos right the first thing on Friday. I mean, that could be a key one for both losing opening weekend.
Yeah,
don't want to start dropping more games, right? Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Well, that's the week it was in PLL. I'm telling
Any
you,
big takeaways you guys think off the bat right away from just one open week?
I would have more takeaways if the weather would have cooperated in the first day.
Yeah.
The first day was the people needed paddle boats to get back and forth, and it kind of took away a little bit from the game in my eyes. But just to watch them, fight through it was great, and to watch it again was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just from the Philadelphia perspective on all this, I mean, I'm looking for Mike Sowers to kind of repeat what he did last year, hopefully do a little bit more. 37 points, 18 goals, 19 assists. Karen McCardle, 22 goals, 12 assists. Ethan Walker. I'm hoping some other guys step up, getting more involved on the scoring aspect of things. I'm hoping to see their defense become a big play. Being 2-8 like they were last year leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But like I said, this is a big matchup for these guys starting next week against Maryland. Maryland's not going to be a pushover. They just got slapped in the mouth, so they're going to looking to get back on the scoreboard, get back into the win column, and Philly better be on their A game.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good one, I think. But the parity in the league, anybody can do anything on any week.
Right.
And more and more we see it. And you're taking a look at all of the things that were weak in other years aren't this year. There is such depth in all of these teams that this is going to be a whole lot of fun. And if you can get to it live, by all means. If not, there is a number of the games that are out there on linear as well as on ESPN Plus and TSM Plus. So there's no excuse not to be able to catch any of these games going on, and they are exciting. The Ravens have put together a really great league, and it's getting better and better all the time. And when you look at the viewership numbers, it's catching on big. So catch the wave, so to speak.
Yeah, listen. It's again. It gives something else to watch. If your baseball team sucks or if your soccer team sucks, you have something else to watch. That's the way I look at it. You have more options. I like to stay on the couch all day and watch Philly sports. So another team to keep my eye on. And just like you said, though, Gary, the outside game, a little enticing than the indoor game, and it's fun product to watch.
So I'm assuming you're not coming up to the Sky Dome. Sorry, Rogers. To watch the Phillies against the Toronto's won their last 8 home games in a row.
Well, you listen to the way the Phillies have been playing as of late. I might just go up there just to see them get slapped around. So no, I'm good. So
Well, last year I don't think we put together 8 wins in a month in the summer. So like,
I hear
8 in a row is pretty cool.
Yeah. So look, it's going to be a busy time for sure. I'm glad that the PLL's coming to Philly for Father's Day weekend. I mean, no better timing.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I am really looking forward to the All-Star game again this year, of course, and I am looking forward to all those little extras, like the shot competition and some of the other little fun things in there. The goaltending competition is always fun. To watch how quick Blaze Riordan's hands are, even though I don't see it in the NLL. Sorry, Pat.
It's all right.
He gets even for not being a goaltender in the NLL by just being a bull.
Oh my gosh! I'm hoping he. Listen, it's crazy. Like he's playing goaltending and all that stuff. Yeah, hopefully he benefits. In at that position because he's not the same guy he was before. Unfortunately.
Right. Is that a picture of Atlas behind you, Pat? Just I'm looking at the blue on the wall.
That would be I'm hoping so, but it's amazing what a 4-year-old could do with a paintbrush. And,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's good stuff though. But yeah, guys, like I said though, I'm excited to see what happens next week with this Water Dogs team. Hopefully they'll be barking down North Carolina. Hopefully things go their way and they're well prepared for what's about to come at them. Because that Maryland team is no joke. I mean, you're talking about a runner-up for the PLL championship last year. So, it's not going to be easy to take care of those guys.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to your take on it next week and all the ins and outs of everything for it, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Pat.
Hey, listen, the dogs will be barking. Arf, arf, arf. I'm ready. Let's go.
Loving it.
See you, fellas.
All right. Take care, Pat. Pat Bernard with his PLL recaps. Excellent. Well, that brings us on over to Summer Ball Indoors. Why don't we start out west, Shawn, with some PGLL to get us rolling, so to speak.
Yeah, why don't we start off? Actually, Senior B started up in the PGLL. Standing Buffalo, as you will learn here, has a stacked team that's probably going to run away with a lot of this. They played a home-and-home series with Regina Heat Friday and Saturday. So Friday night, Standing Buffalo won 16-7. The leading scorer for Standing Buffalo was one Austin Shanks with 4 goals and 2 assists. Followed by Jeff Schattler, also with 4 goals and an assist. Jake Boudreau had a pair of goals as well. So, a few big names on this squad. Then next night back in Regina, Standing Buffalo came away with a 13-7 win. Again, Jeff Schattler this time led with a goal and 4 assists. Shanks, 4 goals. Jake Boudreau, 3 goals and an assist. Even Mike Messenger got on the scoreboard with a goal. So they got a few NLL guys sitting on that roster, plus a retired guy in Jeff Schattler. And then we finished off the weekend again. Standing Buffalo headed up to Standing Buffalo hosted Saskatoon SWAT and picked up a 16-10 win. Austin Shanks again, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. Kalen Curry had a goal and 4 assists for Standing Buffalo, and Jake Boudreau, 2 goals, 2 assists. Mike Messenger, 2 goals and an assist. So again, Standing Buffalo is kind of running away with things early on in Senior B, which is again kind of expected. Certainly got 4 NLLers, 5 if you want to count Schattler. Compared to other teams in this league, who probably would be lucky if they have 1, if any. In the junior side, Junior B, find out where we are here. I guess we start on Wednesday. Moose Jaw Mustangs continue their outstanding season, a 14-6 win over Saskatoon. Regina Chaos picked up their first win, a bit of a battle of the basement as they defeated the Weyburn Razorbacks 7-5. And then Weyburn was in Swift Current, I believe it was. Yes, in Swift Current. That was this afternoon, actually. And comeback fell just short for the Razorbacks with the Swift Current Wolverines taking a 6-5 win. So that standings now. Prince Albert is a 6-0-1. Moose Jaw's right behind them at 6-1. Then you have a bit of a long jam. The only two games really separate third from last. You got 3-3-1 is the Saskatoon SWAT. Swift Current Wolverines at 2-5. Then with the Regina Chaos picking up their win, they're now 1-5 as well as the Weyburn Razorback. So that one really puts them back in the mix of things. Then we head to Junior A. We'll start with Rocky Mountain. Just to kind of catch up on Sunday because I wasn't sure what the final score from last Sunday. It was 11-1. The Raiders over the Saskatchewan SWAT. On Wednesday, we had the Okotoks Raiders over the Mounties 7-2. Friday, we had the Miners over the SWAT 12-10. Actually, they played 3 games this weekend in Saskatoon, the Miners and the SWAT, and Miners walked away with all of them. Saturday's game was the Miners 13, SWAT 8, and then this afternoon it was the Miners 7 and SWAT 1. So that Junior A standings right now, we got the Mounties at 3-1-1. They're tied with the Miners at 3-1-1 as well for second. You have the Raiders at 3-0. So they're a little bit behind. There's still 2 games in hand. And then the SWAT are 0-7. And we'll wrap up with the BC Junior A. Let's see where we are here. Tuesday, we had New Westminster. Langley came up just short and trying to come back here, but New Westminster came with the 10-9 win. On Wednesday, you saw Delta cruise to a 15-5 win over the Burnaby Lakers. Thursday, again, tough week for Langley. Couple 1-goal losses again where they just couldn't quite come back. Lost a 9-8 to the Burnaby Lakers. Friday, Coquitlam cruised to a 15-6 win over Port Coquitlam. Saturday, you had Nanaimo 10, New Westminster 6. As well, you had Coquitlam a 15-11 win over Victoria. And Delta came away with a 1-goal victory, 8-7 over Port Coquitlam. So again, those standings, you have you have the Adnaks at a 5-1, followed right behind by the Delta Islanders at 3-1. Nanaimo Timbermen 3-2, so they're right in the mix of things, as well as New Westminster at 3-2, and Victoria at 3-2. Port Coquitlam, they're at 2-4. You have the Burnaby Lakers at 1-4, and Langley still looking for their first win at 0-4.
Right. Well, we head on over to Ontario and the Ontario Junior A's, and interestingly enough, Oakville and Peterborough played on Monday, and Peterborough came away with a 9-5 victory. Of course, former guest of the show, Curtis Ward, had 4 goals in the game. Now he's been doing double duty because he's been playing with the MSL Lakers as well, getting a taste of some major series lacrosse action, as he is Nate Sage, who played today for the Lakers. I guess when you have 3 games in 4 days, you tend to use extra bodies so as not to kill your team. Right? But they beat the Oakville Buzz 9-5. If you happen to be in Oakville this week, you have a double header over at the track. You have the 7 p.m. MSL game, which is the Oakville Rock against the Owen Sound North Stars, or you have the 8 o'clock Oakville Buzz versus the St. Catharines Athletics. Now, what else is important in this game is the hat trick sale. Getting rock caps and some other things that are destined to be gone forever at fantastic prices. Instead of 35 or 36 bucks, they're on sale for 25. So you might want to get your butts on over to the track tomorrow and have a look at all that's for sale and see what's what. Also, you only have to pay one admission fee to get both games. Even better. 2 for the price of 1 is excellent, especially when it's not expensive for 1. Anyways, moving along. Six Nations and Mimico met up on the Tuesday, and it was Six Nations coming away with an 11-7 victory. Kitchener and Orangeville met up over in Orangeville, and Orangeville took over with a 13-9 victory there. The Buzz got a win on Wednesday against the Toronto Beaches, beating them 8-5. And Peterborough beat St. Catharines 8-7 on Wednesday as well. Moving into Thursday, woe is me for the Brampton Excelsiors losing to the Toronto Beaches. Brampton hasn't found a win column yet this year. While the Burlington Blaze and the Whitby Warriors had a slobber knocker fest. It was 17-14 for Whitby at the end of this. It was just an unbelievable display of offensive prowess from both teams. On the Friday, Burlington then played Kitchener, and Kitchener beat Burlington 11-10. And it took a 5-goal third for Kitchener to come on top. So look out. There's a team we haven't talked about in a little while, and it looks like they're getting their acts together too. Orangeville and Oakville also met up on Friday, and Orangeville bested the Oakville Buzz 10-6. And Six Nations and Peterborough met up on Friday night, and this is another one of those must-see games. And it was Six Nations that came away with an 11-10 victory. Trayson Sunday with the last 3 goals of the game to beat Peterborough. Saturday we had Mimico and Whitby facing off against each other, and Whitby came off with the 11-10 victory. So if you don't think these games are exciting to watch, you are mistaken. And for the low price of about $10, it is certainly worth the couple hours you're going to get of entertainment. Also on Saturday, we had Orangeville and Brampton, and well, woe is me, Brampton. They lost to Orangeville, but boy, did they put up a fight. 12-11. Orangeville bested Brampton. Six Nations played Mimico in the last game of the week, and they bested them 10-5. So, looking at the standings, the Six Nations Arrows are on top with 4 wins and 1 loss. Toronto Beaches are behind them with 3 wins and 2 losses. Whitby is 3 wins with no losses. Orangeville 3 wins and 1 loss. St. Catharines 3 wins and 2 losses. Big log jam with 6 points in second. Kitchener Waterloo is next up with 2 wins. Peterborough has 2 wins and 3 losses. Mimico 1 win, 2 losses. Burlington 1 win, 4 losses. Oakville 1 win, 2 losses. And in the rear, Brampton at 0-5. So we're hoping that they right the ship quickly because there's too much talent there for them not to. Moving on over to Ontario Series Lacrosse. And, of course, another busy week, or busy weekend. Not a good one for the Ennismore James gang. Friday night, they played the Brooklyn Merchants, and well, 22-5 was the final score in that one. It was 9-1 after 1. It was 16-2 after 2. So you see where I'm going with this. But penalty mired game is not that they don't have fight. They just when you're playing against teams that have a lot of NLL or future NLL teams, NLL players on them, this is going to happen. Because the next night they played the Six Nations Rivermen. And, 19-4 was the outcome in that one. And once again, Davin Bonbury with 3 goals in this game. Greg Elijah Brown with 3 goals in this game. And Thunder Hill had 4 goals in this game. So, but again, a penalty-mired third period. Not that it helped on the scoreboard, but it does show that this team has a lot of fight in them. The other games on the weekend were Collingwood and Owen Sound faced off against each other over in Collingwood. This one was interesting in the fact that Owen Sound won 5-3, but Jackson Hayner in net for Collingwood faced 71 shots.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't hang that one on him.
No. He had just as rough a game the next one because Collingwood played Hamilton, lost 9-6, and another one full of rubber towards the goaltending. So Collingwood is winless, but defense should be the order of the day. They're having a rough time stopping teams. If we're looking up at the standings, Brooklyn is up in front with a 6-1 record. Six Nations at 5-2. Owen Sound at 4-1. Really strong team. Hamilton at 2-2. And now remember, they made all those big moves, so I'm expecting more in the future come out of Hamilton. Ennismore, of course, 1-5. Their one win was against Collingwood, who is at 0-7. Just having a rough time. Now, of course, they were the former Clearview Crushers. So, but still a long way to go in this season. Upcoming in this coming week, we even have a midweek game. We have Brooklyn against Ennismore on Tuesday up at the Lakefield Arena. On Saturday, the Ennismore James Gang is playing Collingwood again. Excuse me. Also, Hamilton is going over to the Iroquois Park Sports Complex to face the Brooklyn Merchants. That will be an excellent game. Moving on over, one more game on the Saturday, and that's Owen Sound and Six Nations. That one intrigues me even more than the other ones because Owen Sound has looked tough. And if there's somebody going to knock Six Nations down, this very well could be the team. On Sunday, Brooklyn is going to face Hamilton in a rematch over in the Dave Andrechuk Arena in Hamilton at 5 o'clock Sunday evening. So worth your time to get over to these games. Again, inexpensive, and a lot of guys that you're going to be seeing in the NLL in the next couple of years. Well worth your time. Alrighty, why don't we move our way on over into the WLA?
Sure thing. I don't recall if we covered last Sunday's game, but New Westminster took a 12-10 decision over Maple Ridge, probably as we were going off the air. Then we had Langley returning Wednesday this week, hosting Nanaimo. They take an 11-6 win. Caleb Kahn again, big game, 48 saves. Kid's only 18 years old.
You gotta think some NLL teams are looking, keeping a close eye on that kid.
Yeah. John Phillips, 2 goals, 2 assists for the Thunder. Connor Robinson, 2 goals and an assist. Evan Messenger had a pair of goals. Nathaniel Kozevnikov had a goal. Chase Scanlon, 3 assists. For Nanaimo, not a whole lot, unfortunately. Thomas Vason, 2 goals. Jeremy Wodrick had a goal and an assist. Cody Adamson and Ben Musso each had a goal. Colton Lidstone held to just 2 assists. Colby Bowman was in net for the Timbermen, made 44 saves on the night.
And then I guess we move into Thursday, and Langley then made the trip out to New Westminster, and it did not go as well. It was a 17-9 win for New West, and just wasn't a good start for Langley. Bellies jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and after that, it was a lot of catch up. The Bellies were leading 12-5 heading into the final final period. And Ty Kurtz, the big game, 2 goals and 6 assists for 8 points. Mitch Jones, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. For Langley, you had Chase Scanlon with 4 goals and 2 assists. And in goal, actually, Langley split time. He had Colin Jeffrey and Kyle Mooney. He split the time of goal for the Thunder, while for the Salmon Bellies, Justin Getty again got the start and stopped 37 of 46 shots for the win. And I guess we move into the next night in bit of a crazy one. Don't think anyone saw this one being fairly close, but Victoria just got by the Burnaby Lakers in a goaltending duel, 6-5. Crystal Regulari picked up the win, starting for Victoria with 53 saves. But give credit to Keegan Milanichuk. He went toe-to-toe with O'Rig and had 42 saves, giving up 6 goals. And it really was a back and forth game. Victoria was up 3-1 after the first period, and I think most of us, knowing how strong Victoria is, think, okay, here we go. But the Lakers came back and to tie it up to make it a 4-4 game heading into the third. But then you got a goal by Max Wilson late, as well as Chris Wardle. To give Victoria a 2-goal lead. With the extra attacker, Ben Stewart did get Burnaby back within 1, but they just couldn't find the equalizer on that one. For the Shamrocks, this was the debut of Zach Mans in a Shamrocks uniform, and not a bad debut. 4 assists. He also had a goal and 2 assists for Marshall King. Chris Regulari got the start again. Stopped. As I mentioned, he had to stop 53 of 58 shots. For the Lakers, Silas Richmond had 3 assists, while Sam LaRue had a goal and assist and 2 goals from Ben Stewart. Then we head into Friday, and Victoria again stays undefeated with a 9-6 win over the Nanaimo Timbermen. And as I mentioned, Zach Mans faced his old team and had a hat trick. So, and an assist. Matthew Gauthier with a goal and 4 assists. 4 goals by Marshall King, and assist for 5 points. So he's coming to his own again with Victoria. And again, they're going with that 2 goaltender system. Cam Dunkerley got the start, stopped 40 of 46 shots. Over for the Timbermen, Colton Lidstone had 4 assists. And they got a pair of goals from Luke Pilcher, a pair of goals as well from Ryan Sheridan. And in this game actually was fairly close, 3-2 for Victoria after the first period, but then Victoria just came out firing. Actually, they ended up on a 7-goal run, really, because they had 2 goals to end the first period, then another 5 straight into the second to really kind of take hold of that game and pick up the win. Then we have the Maple Ridge game.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gary's muted, so.
Oh, Gary is back. Blaming on Rogers again.
Yeah, Maple Ridge and Coquitlam, they met Friday night, Saturday night.
That
Saturday
was
night.
last night, yes. May
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah, Saturday night. So, and yeah, Maple Ridge up 9-5 after 2 periods, and Coquitlam blanks them in the third, 4-0 to force overtime, and the overtime did not solve anything. We end this game in a 9-9 tie. For Coquitlam, Jalen Chaster with a hat trick and an assist. David Charney had 2 goals and an assist. Adam Noakes, a goal and 4 assists. James Ray had a goal and 3 assists. Christian Del Bianco, 44 saves. Coquitlam finally earns a point of some kind this season. So I believe they're 0-2-1 now. For Maple Ridge, Marcus Clarich, hat trick, 2 assists for 5 points. Ryan Jones had a goal and 3 assists. Garrett Winter, a goal and 2 assists. Dylan McIntosh, a goal and 2 assists. Riley Lowen had a goal and an assist. And Brandon Humphrey, 41 saves in the tie.
Alrighty. And that covers us for the week, does it?
Yeah, well, there's one game on tonight.
That's tonight.
Nanaimo and Maple Ridge are going at it tonight, so we'll see what happens there. It hasn't started yet.
Right.
Yeah. But the standings right now, we've got New West and Victoria, both undefeated. Victoria's 4-0, New West 3-0. You have Langley at 2-1, and then it pretty much falls off a cliff after that.
Yeah. Nobody can win after that.
You got Maple Ridge and Coquitlam tied for 4th place at 0-2-1. And then you have Nanaimo and Burnaby both sitting at 0-3. So
The interesting thing about Burnaby is looking at their 0-3, but their goal differential is only -2.
yeah, and I mean they had that one game that they had won and then
That's true, yeah.
forfeit. So
Right. Of course. Well, if we move our way on over to the MSL, we had an interesting week too, and we had a busy one. Our first game of the week was on Monday, and Brooklyn faced Oakville in Oakville. Now, of all the people that were going to kill the Oakville Rock, why not let it be Chris Boucher, who had 4 goals in the game, as well as Adam Prony, who had 3, and they controlled the majority of the game, and they only got stronger as the game went on. For the Rock, Josh Dalwick again with another big game, 2 goals, 3 assists. Sam LeClaire with a goal and 2 assists led the way. Stephen Orleman in net for Brooklyn made 50 saves in the victory, while Troy Holochuk, made 49 saves in the loss. Brooklyn won convincingly, 13-5 in this game. Now, no rest for the weary. The very next night, Oakville travels on over to Six Nations to play the Chiefs. And this was the very first showing of Josh Byrne in a Six Nations Chiefs uniform. And, Dane Smith in his return as well. And, of course, didn't they light the Rock up for a 10-5 victory. Byrne and Smith joined the Chiefs for the game, made an immediate impact. Byrne had a pair of goals as well as many opportunities. Smith, of course, as the quarterback on this team. Davin Bombury continued to make a name for himself with another hat trick, as well as Ryan Smith made his presence felt throughout the night. For the Oakville squad, the bright spot once again, Josh Dalwick with a pair of goals, as well as Ty English showing off his coast-to-coast speed in one of the most beautiful goals I've seen of the summer so far. But 10-5 was that it for Six Nations. Oakville is still looking for their first win of the year. We move over to Brooklyn and Coburg on the Wednesday, and this one was wild. In fact, it took a couple of late goals from Sean Wesley to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. 34 seconds apart were these goals. that actually made it 11-10. Open net goal, empty net goal made it 12-10 for the final. Both teams had opportunities to take control, but the goaltending was outstanding in this game. Tied after one period, the Kostiuks jumped out to a 3-goal lead in the second, looking like they may run away with this game. Alex Marinier with 3 goals led the way for Coburg, with Holden Patterson with 2 goals, 2 assists, also scoring timely goals. Late in the second, Brooklyn mounted a 3 goals, 3 assists. Connor Kiernan 3 goals, 2 assists, and Sean Wesley, of course, with the 2, including the game winner, leading the charge in the eventual comeback. So Brooklyn is still firing on all cylinders, getting it where they need it to keep pulling out these victories. I was up in Peterborough the next night to watch the Brampton Excelsiors against the Peterborough Lakers, and this nobody really was taking it all that heavy. Brampton's in. They haven't done well since their comeback. This game was 6-5, and for the majority of it, it was tied. It was 4-4 late into the third. Peterborough got a couple of late goals, and it wound up being that Josh Medeiros made it 6-5 with about a minute and a half left in the game. Brampton mounting a comeback and an untimely holding the stick penalty. Chintzy, mind you, but with 30.2 seconds left, and Peterborough was able to run out the clock. Both Nick Rose and Riley Hutchcraft both were spectacular in this game. They faced 85 shots amongst the two of them. Were sensational. But Peterborough comes away with a 6-5 win, which brings us over to the weekend, and Peterborough playing against Owen Sound. And this one was another strange one, because it looked like Peterborough was going to, roll away with this thing. All of a sudden, the third period was with the end of the second into the third, Owen Sound put together a 6-goal run, and they were up by 3. Well, Peterborough put together a 6-goal run of their own and won 13-10. It just, whatever was said in the North Stars dressing room at the second intermission, wow. Because they were just all over. Xander Durkatz had a great third period for Owen Sound. Dylan Watson also. But Brad McCulley had stopped the run. Cam Milligan had 6 assists in this game. So he was the quarterback for all of this stuff. Austin Hazen with a couple of goals near the end as well, followed by Frank Coyle finishing a Brad McCulley pass. Curtis Ward was in there also getting a goal, and a Mike Robinson getting the empty net goal with 10 seconds remaining, sealing the deal, and Peterborough wins their second of the week, 13-10. Now, just finished over in Coburg was the Peterborough versus Coburg game, with a huge contingent of Lakers fans driving down the highway, as I had predicted. 4-2 after one. Final score was Lakers 13, Kodiak 6. So another good showing, where the Lakers are 4-0 now on the year. Not bad, eh? 3 wins in 4 days. But Drew Hutchison drew the goalie assignment, facing 51 shots. Jackson Brown in net for Coburg, who faced 63 shots. So, Tate Catoni and Carter Page got it rolling, 2-0 for Peterborough to start. Taylor Dooley and Dante Koulos tied it up. Then Brad McCulley off a Cam Milligan pass on the power play gave them the lead. Dylan Hutchinson with an unassisted goal, and it was 4-2 after one. The second period, little less scoring. A shorthanded goal from Zach Thompson off an Alex Marinier pass brought it within one, but Milligan got his first goal of the weekend and of the season on the power play, followed by Matt Gilray, and it was 6-3. Moving into the last period, Aaron Woods on the power play for Coburg, and then Mike Robinson and Austin Hazen with a pair of goals. Brock Haley gets one for the Kodiaks, but Carter Page and Nate Sage got another couple. Peterborough finishes off strong. They finish off with a 5-goal run just to cement this thing. Colton Marquis, as well as Robinson, Page, and then Dante Koulos with 22 seconds gets one for the Coburg Kodiaks, but too little, too late. And your final score, of course, 13-6 for Coburg. Looking at the standings, Peterborough is in the lead, actually with a 5-0 record now. Brooklyn is sitting in second place at 3-1. Six Nations in third place at 2-1. But hang on, they have a few games this week. Owen Sound 1-2, Coburg 1-3, and both Brampton and Oakville without a victory, sitting in last. Upcoming this week, tomorrow you have Owen Sound visiting Oakville, as we'd mentioned. Tuesday, Brooklyn heads into Six Nations to face the Chiefs. That'll be a great one. Brampton then heads over to Brooklyn to face the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club Wednesday night at the Iroquois Park Sports Complex. Thursday, Oakville heads into Peterborough for a tilt, as well as Coburg coming over to Brampton. Saturday, Six Nations is in Owen Sound. And then Sunday, Six Nations is over in Coburg. So this is their 3-game week. Great scheduling. All summer long. But nope, let's put it all in a weekend. But that's the week that was in Major Series Lacrosse. And there is a lot of parity. And, another good sign is in Peterborough, the crowds have returned. It is a party zone there. A lot of fun over in Peterborough. Hopefully this is rubbing off on some of the other places too. And we'll have a look this week. Hopefully I'll be out in Brooklyn on Wednesday. I'm going to try and make it out to Oakville tomorrow. Want to see some of these hat trick deals, because of course we need more hats. I never have too many. Hey, maybe the captain's ones are on sale.
There you go.
I never have too many of those. I only have 3 of them around the house now. Just a reminder to everybody that we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, X, we're on Thread, we're on YouTube. So please check us out. Come back 3, 4, 5 times a day because the news is always changing. We have all the recaps up for everything. We are almost up to date with everything. The PLL final games will be up beginning of the week, as will the Major Series Lacrosse game from tonight. Everything else is up to date. And any moves and anything else that is coming up lacrosse-wise, we are your Costco of lacrosse. We are your one-stop shop. We will have everything as soon as we know it, you know it. And we have tentacles out everywhere, getting news from everywhere. So we are your place to come for anything lacrosse related. Brings us to last words. Shawn.
Yeah, everything's kind of in full swing now, which is great. WLA has been awesome. I mean, Victoria New West look like they're going to battle it out for first. Looks like they play 3 times this year, so those could be very interesting matches that could be for that first place. And then, out west here, especially having the senior B out and running now and seeing some Rush players actually playing their senior B right in Saskatchewan is great to see. And I see that the Saskatoon Brewers have a couple of guys who have NLL experience, so that could be Standing Buffalo could be interesting. They play on June 14th, so that should be a good one.
Absolutely. Final words to you, Mike.
Yeah, a big PLL weekend already. Week 2, I think. chaos with 2 games. Don't want to end up 0-3. One of those games against Denver, who doesn't want to end up 0-2, not only in overall, but in their conference. And the Water Dogs get their first taste of action against a Maryland team that's going to be desperate too to not get, not fall to 0-2. So,
Absolutely. I have a busy week ahead of me. I have 13 games I'm covering this week. If you happen to see me at one of these arenas, please stop by and say hello. More than willing to talk lacrosse with you. It is always a pleasure to talk and listen to stories and have a lot of fun over a cool one or over a coffee or whatever. And watching some great lacrosse. It hasn't disappointed yet, and I think it's only going to get hotter as the summer moves along. There's going to be some great matchups in all of the leagues, whether it's OJLL, whether it's OSL or MSL. All kinds of big things are coming, and this is going to be an exciting year. And I don't think that anybody's going to be able to predict what's going to happen come the end of it, even though we have our ideas. But anything's possible, as we've seen so far. A lot of teams have surprised me, even with the few moves that they've made. And really, it should be exciting. So until next week, when we all meet up again at 8 p.m. Eastern, for Shawn Slaght over in Moose Jaw and Muffler Mike over in Connecticut, I'm Gary Groob in Toronto, wishing you the best of weeks. And until we meet again, remember, keep your sticks high and your spirits higher. And we will see you all again next Sunday at 8 p.m. Take care, all.